Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MetricStream GRC Summit 2020. My name is Shreyank Kamat, and I'm part of the MetricStream product management team. In today's session, we're going to look at some of the latest innovations that have been introduced in the M7 integrated risk platform, especially in the area of observation management. So before we go to the innovations, I'll take a minute to quickly explain what observation management is all about. Observation management is one of the latest additions in the MetricStream suite of products and especially designed for the frontline users. This product makes it simple, or it makes it very intuitive for the frontline users, including the extended business ecosystem, to proactively manage risks by reporting any kind of irregularities or anomalies that could impact the organization. Not just that, this particular product will also allow the frontline users to stay anonymous and report any kind of unethical activities or sensitive issues that could impact the organization. So before we move to the innovations, let's understand why is there a need to empower the frontline. Today, the attitude towards GRC is drastically changing in organizations. GRC is seen more as an integrated activity among the three lines of defense. Also, GRC is considered more as an enterprise-wide responsibility. That is the reason why the expectation from frontline users has drastically changed. Organizations expect the frontline users to own risks. They expect the frontline users to identify risk as well as mitigate them. Considering some of the factors that are listed on the slide, especially on the volume and velocity of risks, it becomes extremely important that the frontline users are more risk aware and take steps to mitigate risk on a proactive basis. Also, on the interconnectedness of risks. Risks are permeating from all different levels of organization today. And that makes it even more critical for the frontline to understand what those risks are, identify those, and mitigate them. Also, organizations are creating a culture of risk and compliance awareness. That basically brings the responsibility of the risk identification and mitigation to the frontline users themselves. Considering all these factors, we have come up with the following innovations in the observation management product. So before I go into the innovations, I'll talk about some of the challenges that the frontline users face today. The frontline users are not regular users of the GRC application, right? They're very infrequent users. Secondly, the frontline users are not aware or do not understand some of the GRC taxonomies or terminologies that are used. Also, there's a lot of money and time that is spent by organizations to train the frontline users on complex GRC applications. The reason why I'm calling them as complex GRC applications is because most of the GRC applications are designed for the power users. When I say the power users, I'm basically referring to the users that are frequent users of the GRC application, especially who belong to the second line of defense or the third line of defense. Considering all these challenges, we have come up with intuitive solutions to enable the frontline to report any kind of irregularities or anomalies that would impact their business or the organization. Some of the innovations are, we have introduced conversational interfaces in the form of chatbots through which frontline users can actually communicate with and report any kind of observations. We have also introduced widgets and plugins that can be embedded into your operational systems or to your internet browsers for easy reporting of observations. Not just that, as I had said earlier, the observation management product also allows the frontline users to stay anonymous and report observations, right? These observations could be related to some improprieties. It could be related to some discriminatory practices. It could be some conflict of interest, or it could be any sexual harassment cases as well, right? So the product ensures that none of the PII data, the personally identified information of a frontline user is captured while reporting such anonymous observations. And lastly, we have introduced the AI ML powered recommendations. This is to improve the risk intelligence, not just for the front line, but also for the second line and the triage teams, so that they can identify areas based on the observation data and focus more on those areas and see how those can be corrected on a proactive basis. So these are some of the innovations that we have introduced in the observation management product. With this, we will quickly move on to the product demo and see what these innovations look like. So let's get started with a conversational interface, as I said, like a chatbot. This is an intranet site of an organization in which there is a chatbot that is embedded. Consider a scenario where a bank employee is reviewing the forex trading policy that's available in the bank. Maybe this frontline user belongs to the retail banking department, and he just wants to read through the guidelines that are published in the forex trading policy. But while reading, this particular user identifies that the policy has not been updated since 2019. And for that, he would like to report an observation. And this is how simple it's going to be, right? So the user can come to this chatbot. And if you look at this, the chatbot understands the single sign-on. So it basically says, hey there, Mike, welcome to the MetricStream GRC desk. How can I help you today? And here Mike has two options, whether he can report an observation or he can check the status of an observation that he has reported in the past. In this case, Mike can say that I would like to report an observation, and the bot would ask, okay, what is the observation? Here I can provide a quick title about what that observation is. For example, I can say that the Forex trading policy is not updated, maybe since May 2019. Right? So I can provide a quick snippet of what that observation is all about. And then the bot asks me, okay, that's a good start. Could you tell me more about the observation? In that case, I can provide a quick description about what that observation actually means. Right? So it basically says that guidelines for the foreign currency trading are not updated in the policy. This might result in hedge trading. So if you look at this, the risk is highlighted. Right? It's highlighted in very few steps. And the next question that the bot would ask is, in how many cases did you observe this? I would say I had just observed it in one case. And it would also allow me to classify the business impact to this. And I would say high. And the next question that the bot is going to ask me, when did you last come across or the first come across the observation? I would say today. And this is where the concept of natural language processing comes in, right? Especially when a user types an option like today, tomorrow, or yesterday, the system automatically understands the date and populates that for the user. So in this case, I've just mentioned it as today. And what the bot is going to ask me is if I would like to attach any kind of evidence, right, that can help me prove my observation or my claim, I can do that as well. So here I would say, yes, I would like to attach a document, and here I can upload the policy itself, right, the Forex trading policy into the chatbot. Right, so the policy would get updated and I can just add that. Now, if you see, the observation bot has given me a quick snippet about the observation that I just reported. It says that, okay, the observation is about Forex trading policy not being updated. And it gives me the description and the attachment that I have added. The next question that the bot is going to ask me is whether I would like to finish reporting the observation now. I would say yes. And what this would do is the bot would provide me an ID, an observation ID through which I can track this observation in the future. Right? So for example, if you see this, there is a reference ID that has been provided by the bot, which I can use for tracking this observation or the status of the observation in the future. The last question would be, would you like to report another observation? I would say no, and that's the end of it. So as you see, it's a very simple process to report any kind of observations that you are reporting. And not just that, right? I mean, chatbot is just one way to do it. I also spoke about having widgets that can be embedded into your intranet site, or you can also have it as a browser plugin, right? So the widget is also going to do the same thing. For example, if you look at this option here, I can click on it and say that report an observation, and it will ask me some basic details about what that observation title is, the description, when it was last identified, and if I would like to attach any kind of files or evidence related to the observation that I just reported. Once these observations are reported, there is a triage team that would be in place who would look at these observations and triage them in the right set of buckets. The triage team can either be part of your second line of defense, or it could be a team within the front line itself who would look at all these observations that have been reported and accordingly take actions on them. Okay, so now let's log in as a compliance manager. And I said this user could be from your second line of defense who was responsible for viewing all the observations that have been reported by the front line and triaging them accordingly. Right, so just let me log in as the compliance manager, and if I go to my inbox, I would see a list of issues that have been reported by the first line users or the frontline users. So this is the issue that we reported using the chatbot, which basically talks about that the forex trading policy is not updated since May 2019, right? And permissions for purchasing foreign currency are not updated in the policy, and this might result in a hedge trading. So the user would have an option to triage the issue, the observation as an issue, and assign it to the respective issue owner for the ownership and remediation and closure of that issue. Right. So what I'll do next is I will quickly log in as an issue owner and basically go ahead and show you the AI and ML related enhancements that have been made. So I'm going to sign out and I'm going to log in as an issue owner. So this is the user who is responsible for mitigating or remediating that issue that we just reported. And if I go to my inbox, if you see here, there are a list of issues that are assigned to me. And this is the issue that just got reported, which talks about Forex trading policies not updated since May 2019. Now, as I was talking about that, the whole risk intelligence can be approved by AI and natural language processing, right? So if I look at this screen, right, I have the issue title entered in and I have a description. If I scroll down to the end, right, I will see a section called classification in which I can categorize those issues in the right buckets or in the right categories. And if you look at this icon right here, it basically talks about AI powered recommendations available, right? Which basically means that the AI model is helping you categorize the issues in the right bucket. And this categorization or these recommendations are based on historical data that's available in the system. Basically, how other users have been reporting similar issues and how they have been categorizing those. So in those cases, I can just click on this particular icon right here and see what is the AI powered recommendation. So it currently says that this is a deviation from the policy, right? I can classify this as a deviation from policy. Again, I see a lot of other options that are available, which the AI is not recommending. And the user still has an option to go and pick and choose any other category that the user thinks is relevant to the issue that I'm reporting. Because there could be cases where the person that is reporting the issue or owning the issue is aware in basically on what categories or in which categories this issue would fall under, and those categories can always be selected as well. So it does not mandate you to select only the one that the AI model is recommending. I can always ignore my AI recommendation and pick something else if that makes more sense to the issue that I'm reporting. But in this case, let's go ahead with what the AI model is recommending. Right? If you see here, this is how the issue is being classified. So as I had mentioned earlier, this actually helps to identify patterns or trends in how issues are classified or reported, right? Because this clearly helps organizations to identify areas which are susceptible to similar issues or areas that really need some improvement on. Okay, and the next enhancement again is around the related issues, right? So again, there could be cases where there are similar issues that have been reported by other employees in the organization, right? So I have an option where I can go and relate those issues to the one that I'm just creating. Again, in terms of relating, the AI powered recommendations are available where I can click on the related issues, and it shows me a list of similar issues based on semantic similarity that are available or created already in the application. So if you look at the first issue that's displayed here, it talks about that the forex trading policy is not updated, and which is very similar to the issue that I'm currently reporting, right? And the best part is the AI model also gives you a relevance percentage or a relevance score based on semantic similarity. So it says that this issue is semantically similar by 79.8%. So maybe this is an issue that you need to pick while mapping it to the existing one or a related issue. So I can go and select those issues which I feel are relevant or related and add it to the list. Right, again, as I said, it actually helps you club some of those issues, identify trends, and identify those areas that need to be fixed on priority. Right, I always have an option where I can click on the issue and see more details around it. And we have taken care of all the security and authorization. Basically, the AI model will only return those issues that you are authorized to view, right? So that you don't get to see issues that are reported by other departments that you don't have access to. So the authorization has been taken care of, right? So these are some of the enhancements that we have made in terms of the whole AI ML classification of and related issues. And with this, I will move on to the next enhancement, which is around the anonymous reporting. Okay, so as we saw, there were intuitive solutions like chatbots, widgets through which employees could report observations. Similarly, I had also mentioned that the frontline users can decide to stay anonymous and report any kind of observations related to any unethical activities or sensitive issues that they report or they identify in the workplace. In those cases, they can actually use the option of reporting anonymously. So when I select this option, the system ensures that the personally identified information of the user who is reporting this observation is not recorded. And when I speak about the personally identified information or PII data, I'm basically referring to the username, the contact number, the social security number, the address, the employee ID, all of it, right? None of the PII data of the frontline user is captured, so that it kind of helps the frontline user. He's assured that none of his information is disclosed. And if you see, when I click on the report anonymous observation, it takes us to a new window. This is more like an incognito mode, which ensures that there is no information that is stored of the user who is reporting it. Right, and here again I have two options where I can either report an observation or I can check the status of the observation that I just reported. Right, in this case I will click on report observation, and if you see, it has the same amount of details as to what we fill in while reporting a regular observation. We can provide a title to the observation, we can describe the observation in a few words, we can also specify the date on which the observation was identified, and you can attach any kind of document that can serve as a proof of the observation that you're reporting. Similarly, you can add any additional secret text or a captcha so that it helps you track and also search for those observations that have been reported. Right, because if you have additional security mechanisms like a security text or a captcha, even if there's an access link to this issue, no other user will be able to access it. right? So that's about reporting anonymously, and those options are also available within the widgets that can be embedded into your SharePoints, to your intranets, or to your operational systems, right? So that brings me to an end of the product demo. Let's switch back to the presentation and quickly speak about the key business values that the observation management product provides. So over the years, our customers have been using all these innovations, especially customers who are global in nature, across geographies, across industries, and they have used it to make more proactive, risk-aware decisions so that they can improve their business performance, they can strengthen their resilience, and also enhance their brand reputation. And some of the innovations that we saw today will definitely help the GRC, the adoption of GRC, especially by the frontline through simple and interactive tools. It will also empower business users to report any adverse incidents proactively that impact the organization. Also, with the capabilities that we have introduced in artificial intelligence and using natural language processing, it would definitely help improve the risk intelligence in the organization so that organizations identify the right set of areas where the business needs to focus on. And definitely the cost of training will drastically be reduced, because now the whole training program to educate the frontline users on complex GRC system is negated. Now the frontline users can use this intuitive, simple methods to report any kind of observations that they notice in the workplace. Right, so that brings to an end to this session. I'm sure this session would be helpful to you and to your organization. I would urge you to also look at all the other innovation sessions that have been recorded for the under the M7 integrated risk platform, and I'm sure those sessions would definitely help you and your organization in managing your GRC program better. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.